everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Across America Good News Edition. My name is Pilar Arias. I am so very happy to be here with you this week while we showcase feature pieces from across Nexstar Media Group's news stations, bringing you a half hour of smiles and unique local stories. So what do we have on tap for this week? An all-women snow plow crew making history in Arkansas, a dramatic ice water rescue caught on body camera, and a lost dog returning home after a year. Can you believe that? A full year. All right, well, let's get straight to it. More than 2 years after a Good Samaritan stepped in to help a Wisconsin man having a heart attack, he has finally met the woman in blue who saved his life.
Mike Yonkers thought it was nothing serious.
Classic heart case. Oh, it's a case of indigestion.
In 2022, Yonkers was volunteering at ThedaCare Regional Medical Center in Neenah when he began feeling pressure in his chest, something he had felt for 2 weeks.
I sat down there and I was just trying to catch my breath, and this person came along, and all I remember is this woman was in blue.
A stranger noticed something was not right and asked if he was okay.
Said, you know, you really need to go to the emergency department. Let me walk you down there, which was maybe several yards down the corridor. Then she handed me off to the emergency department people, and I didn't see her again.
Doctors soon confirmed Yonkers was having a heart attack, later undergoing triple bypass surgery.
I owe her my life.
For more than 2 years, Yonkers didn't know who saved him. Until now.
Aaron. Hi, I'm Mike.
Great,
Hi,
nice to
may I
meet
hug
you.
you?
Oh,
Oh,
my
thank
gosh,
you.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
You saved my life.
I'm honored to be here, truly. I'm humbled and honored to
It's
be
cool
here.
to meet you, finally.
The woman in blue was Erin Rush, at the time a flight nurse with Theta Star.
My gut was telling me I have to stop and ask. I can't walk past and not at least ask about him.
For Rush, the reunion brings answers she never knew she would be able to get.
Even years later, to find out that not only, was that gut instinct right, but to find out that there was a good outcome and I get to meet him was absolutely humbling.
Now healthy and volunteering again, Yonkers hopes others take one lesson from his story.
Take your symptoms seriously. You know, even if it turns out to be a false alarm, it's worth taking the time and making the effort to contact the healthcare system and get checked out.
In Neenah, Ellie Davis, Local 5 News.
Such a sweet and genuine reunion there. Absolutely love that story. Well, also in Wisconsin, the Green Bay Gamblers brought the community together for one of the team's biggest events of the year, its annual Teddy Bear Toss.
There's some good options. Any of these catching your eye?
Gambler players swap their gear for teddy bears, delivering smiles to pediatric patients at Aurora Bay Care.
Whichever one you want.
Bears, all donated by fans, came from the 26th annual Teddy Bear Toss game at the Rush Center.
It's a once-in-a-life experience. I mean, it's seeing all those bears rain down. It's something you don't get to see every day, and everyone came out to support us. And the amount of bears on the ice, I think it took like 10 minutes to clean up. So it was pretty crazy.
And just 2 days later, those bears found a new home in the arms of children facing doctor visits and tough days.
The hardest part with coming to the doctor is, of course, the fear of coming and the interactions that are going to be here, whether that's painful procedures, whether that's just the anxiety of having to come to a new place and see new people. So the teddy bears give them a little positive thought of coming here, and so we give them out to kids getting painful procedures so that they can hopefully forgive us at the end of it, and to give them a little less anxiety for coming for the next time.
Oh, looks got a little shark here. Dinosaur.
For the kids, it's more than a toy. It's a distraction, a friend, and a reminder they're not alone. In Green Bay, BREANNA Reinhardt, Local 5 News.
Who does not love a teddy bear? That story is so sweet indeed. All right, well, students from kindergarten through 12th grades, they named 24 Oklahoma Department of Transportation salt and plow trucks, and they were creative. Caitlin Ogle from KFOR in Oklahoma City shares their story.
Pull this one, pull this one.
Whoa. I was super excited.
I didn't think I was going to win.
The snow and ice is melting off interstates and highways. Finally, a little levity for Oklahoma transportation crews. Especially for those who have cleared the streets for 25 years.
Every storm's different. You never know what you're going to get into.
Like Kenneth Bo Price.
Compared to what we used to do it like, I mean, this is a lot easier. We pretty much live in this truck.
Each truck has a special name.
Snow Sleigh Supreme.
Each name brings pride.
And you can kind of tell whenever they kind of get around them, like, this one's my name.
And a little jealousy.
How come your name's better than mine?
During the winter storm, Oklahomans found joy tracking the trucks online and being tickled by the names. 24 of the trucks were named by students competing in a contest.
Clownado, snow plows, they move everything out of the way, so do tornadoes too.
And 6th grader Cohen Eichard Redden won with this name.
White Lightning.
On Friday, Cohen, his twin brother Brady, and Davey got another big prize, a tour of the trucks by the master.
Control where the salt comes out.
So it drops down on a spinner and it throws it out on the road.
How do you like move the snow out of the way?
Just push it, just hold it.
A quick morning break from the hard work to remind crews what it's all about.
I like to help people.
And a memory for these students that will last long after the snow is gone.
I liked it.
In Oklahoma City, Caitlin Ogle, Oklahoma's News 4.
White Lightning. I liked that a lot for sure. Those kids got to have a fun time there checking out those trucks and the people who have to drive them. All right, well, we are heading out to Massachusetts for this next story, a special school-wide project mixing English, art, and working together through artistic experience. 22 News reporter ARETA ODIAH shares what hundreds of kids are up to this week to finish up the art piece.
Students at Memorial Elementary blending English, art, and teamwork.
I love doing art because it shows what I feel about drawing.
A sketch inspired by over 200 young minds as the blueprint for a new mural. In 2025, the school was awarded $5,000 through a competitive and selective Massachusetts Cultural Council grant.
We knew we wanted it to be something that involved all the kids, something lasting, something in the school that they could take pride in.
And is featuring an Argentinian-born artist who is no stranger to Western Massachusetts, graduating from UMass Amherst in 2009.
I always think about, legacy and what as adults we're leaving behind. And I think that I'm always trying to leave behind opportunities for students to learn, to express themselves.
The kids take turns for 3 days to paint their parts before the official presentation of the finished product. Every single student playing a role in bringing this mural to life with vibrant colors and even sharing a piece of themselves along the way. Now, when I asked some of the 4th graders what their favorite part of the project was, this is what one of them had to say.
Even if we make a mistake, they can fix it and it becomes beautiful.
He's awesome. The energy in here today is unbelievable.
That is so sweet indeed. I really liked that story for sure. Paint and the murals, it's gonna last a while, and mistakes easily fixed. All right, everybody, we are going to take a quick break here on Across America Good News Edition. Don't you go anywhere though. When we return, we will head out west for some stories from California and Utah. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Across America Good News Edition. My name is Pilar Arias. Very happy to be here with you indeed. All right, well, let's keep the good news going. Am I right? We're heading to Fresno, California, where a 9-year-old girl born with spina bifida, well, she continues pushing to not be limited by her condition. Marco Rosas with KSEE has her story.
Raise money to get a accessible car.
She came up with this idea that she wanted to sell hot chocolate and champurrado, and I told her, okay, well, let's do a TikTok and let's try to get it out there, get the word out there, and see if people will come.
9-year-old Adriana Marbella Arias,
the black one will be the champurrado and then the blue one will be the hot chocolate.
Better known as Adri, quickly gained thousands of views, likes, and shares on TikTok.
You want some necklace?
Thanks to her viral video, neighbors came in droves to show support offline too.
I was surprised. My mom was trying to save money to buy a car with the ram, so I wanted to help.
Adri was born with spina bifida. Early on, her mom, Araceli de la Garza, says she pushed Adri not to be limited by her condition.
I really want her to be independent. I don't want her, spina bifida to hold her back or for her to think she can't do something.
With the proceeds of each drink sold, the family is hoping they can get a car with wheelchair accessibility, so Adri can keep pushing herself to do what she sets her mind to. One by one, neighbor after neighbor showed up to show their support and help Adri meet her goal.
My grandfather, he's in a wheelchair, and just seeing a little girl that needs help and just trying to do my part and help her out, you know what I mean?
In Fresno, for YourCentralValley.com, I'm Marco Rosas.
Wishing her all the best, for sure. Okay, well, we are going to head to Utah, where a dramatic rescue from freezing water was caught on camera. Jake White from ABC4 Utah has the story and the footage.
There's my feet trying to go in front of me.
This is the dramatic body cam video from the Manaway Police Department from over the weekend. Pay attention to the bottom left corner of the video. You can see a person trying to save a man in the ice, then he falls in two. Luckily, these two men were saved thanks to the help of the Manaway Police, local firemen, and even bystanders. Officer Hathcock with the Manaway Police Department says that rescues like these are rare, but can happen easily, especially during a winter like this one.
It depends on the year. This is the first call that I have noticed that we've had this year just due to the warmer weather. But we'll have maybe one ice rescue from what I've heard in years past.
Of course, nothing about this Utah winter is normal, especially when it comes to lakes freezing over for people to enjoy some of their favorite outdoor hobbies. He adds some ways that you can be sure the ice is thick enough to stand on, so you can be sure that you don't end up in a below freezing lake.
The ice is safe to walk on if it's about 4 inches thick. If you're drilling holes for ice fishing, I'm sure that would give you at least a good idea of how thick the ice is. So 4 inches is safe to walk on. As it gets thicker, then you can do snowmobiles, and if it gets thick enough, you can even drive like a car on it.
I'm good. I'm from Arizona. I do not think I will be partaking in ice fishing activities or anything on ice, regardless of how thick it is. All right, well, history makers in Arkansas, an all-female snowplow crew, they have been working hard to clear off roads. Gabriella Phelan discovers how, for at least 2 of them, they were destined for the job.
At the Washington County Road Department, clearing roads is a group effort.
When we come in, we make sure we check our dump trucks, our snowplows, and make sure that they're all ready to go.
Long hours, heavy snow, no room for error.
It's been a lot. Still a lot of snow and a lot of working, a lot of hours. But we got most of the roads clear, and it's looking pretty good and safe to drive on.
But you might not expect to find a woman behind the wheel.
I've seen a few people do a double take. We're just out here working. I didn't really think it was anything special.
This group of 3 is making history as Washington County's first snowplow fleet operated by an all-woman crew. And while they're clearly trailblazers, they're far too humble to admit it.
We just have a bunch of brothers. All just like a big family. We goof around, we have fun, we work hard.
Even with county-wide recognition, the credit, they say, goes both ways.
It's not just us, it's the guys we work with too. They're amazing as well. They put in a lot of effort just like us.
And maybe a little extra credit to the proudest guy in the garage.
I probably don't say it enough, but I'm very proud of them.
For Chloe and Delaney Weir, working alongside their dad just felt natural.
It's special. I mean, I love their accomplishments. I got this one here that wants to do this till she retires. Then this one here, she wants to do it until she makes it as an EMT.
But it's more than just driving a plow, because a piece of their family history is in these trucks.
Their grandpa worked here. He helped me get on, and I've just stuck with it.
But the family they've created within these walls is what keeps them trucking.
It's like having a bunch of brothers, uncles, and grandpas here. They take care of you and stuff.
That is a great story, keeping it in the family. We are going to take another quick break, but when we return, we have a couple very heartwarming stories to wrap up the show with. So I'll see you in a little bit. Coming up next here on Across America Good News Edition, we are heading to Ohio, where a lost dog got an emotional reunion with its owner. Can you believe this? 1 year after going missing.
I'm Isabel Cleary in Columbus, Ohio, and a story that one family feared would end in heartbreak has instead turned into an unbelievable reunion. In January of last year, a car crashed into the yard of one animal nonprofit employee. Her dogs got out. One did not come back. But now, because of chipping technology, we get to show you the emotional reunion 1 year later.
It was hard because I have like young kids, and I'm sorry. And so they were very distraught about him missing.
As you can see, Squid is very happy to be back with his people, but it was a long journey to get to this point.
It was kind of unfortunate events, like a car crashed into our fence and opened up the fence, and he got out and loose with our other dog.
Unfortunately, something that always happens that we see happen fairly often, especially with dogs that are on the cute side, also designer breed small dogs. We unfortunately see them get stolen out of yards fairly regularly. The Pryor family adopted Squid from Columbus Humane.
He was a fan favorite too here at the shelter.
But after he got out and weeks went by, they started to lose hope.
We just got to a point of giving up. And so it did get to a point where, oh my God, I'm looking for a body and not my dog.
Then just a few weeks ago, humane agents got a call. We get a report of a dog tethered to a tree that had been abandoned just a few blocks from our staff member's house. Because of microchipping technology, agents were able to identify Squid.
I was just shocked, very much in shock mode, because I was I never thought that I would ever see him again.
Now Squid is back with his family.
He's a nuisance, but he's our nuisance.
And his story is serving as a reminder.
Her kids had missed Squid so much, and she got to take him home and be reunited with her family again. And that is solely because he was microchipped.
Reporting in Columbus, Ohio, I'm Isabel Cleary.
Pets are family, and if that is not a reminder to microchip your pets, I don't know what is. All right, well, out in South Carolina for this next story, firefighters get a furry addition to their team. Morgan Baker from WBTW has the story.
Myrtle Beach fire officials say Winston won't be investigating any fires, but he will help the firefighters by keeping them company. Captain Jonathan Evans says the department talked about getting another fire dog after their former dog died in 2022. So when a member of the department was leaving and couldn't take his dog Winston with him, the department took him in. Winston stays at Station 5, which Evans says is a calmer atmosphere for him.
It's a little bit chiller of our fire station than Station 1, where it's a little bit busier, so that was kind of the consensus, this would be the best place for him, and then from there he's just kind of become a part of the family.
A part of the family, indeed. Evans says Winston's main job is to be a companion for the firefighters and help relieve some of the stress brought on by the job. Evans says Winston has been adjusting well.
Anybody who feeds him is going to be his best friend. Anybody who really plays with him is going to be his best friend. So, but yeah, he's definitely gelling with the crews pretty well around here.
Evans says the department is working towards being able to take Winston out to community events. He says Winston's already gotten some obedience training and is good with people, but at the end of the day is a puppy still learning to control his excitement.
He's still fairly young, so we're just making sure that he's ready and mature enough to be in the public to do those kind of things. So again, he's probably 90% there, but just want to make sure before we start putting him out there with smaller kids and things that he's not going to jump too much or be a problem that way.
Evans says the department is thankful to Dunes Veterinary Clinic for helping them with the medical needs and pet supplies for their new fur baby. In Myrtle Beach, Morgan Baker, News 13.
Fur baby. I think the animal stories from this week are my favorite stories for sure. Such heartwarming stories. I just love it. All right. Well, most of us would consider 100, turning 100, a milestone birthday, right? But today we have the story of a woman who turned 103, and she just so happened to pick some very unique food and beverage offerings to mark the occasion. Let's watch.
Happy birthday to as she considered what to ask for after more than a century of life. Virginia Hawkins, who turned 103 on Monday, had 2 requests.
I asked for pizza and beer. I'm going to be different, I guess.
The beer was cold, the pizza was hot, and the request didn't come as a surprise for the staff at the villas of Hollybrook in Brazil.
We anticipated it, but in order for, or just her saying it was pretty great. Just how things are here, very simple, but great requests.
The staff made sure to go all out for the big birthday.
Well, they celebrated it 3 times. It was great.
Although Hawkins is in a wheelchair and does not get around very much, her mind is sharp and she keeps on doing what she loves.
She really enjoys things here. She goes and does so much, and she remembers things so well and does so much with the residents, from playing cards, bingo, and going on outings to wineries and things like that. She really enjoys it.
If you want to make it to 103, Hawkins has 2 good suggestions.
Well, I think good parents and a good husband.
Good parents and a good husband. Such good advice there. Pizza and beer. What a great request. But did you see all those friends that she was also celebrating the special occasion with? That's what it's all about, right? The feel good and the smiles and the happiness all around, even in extreme weathers with cold. You've got the frigid temperatures, water rescue. That is what we are all about here on Across America Good News Edition. Well, that's going to do it for us for this week. Again, my name is Pilar Arias. Very happy to have been here with you this week and last week. I am new to the Nexstar Digital Media team, and I'll be seeing you again real soon. Take care.